So Halloween events are being banned in one of Japan's most famous Halloween celebration spots, Shibuya, home of the famous Shibuya crossing. However, this does not seem to at all be a direct response to the recent influx of tourism in Japan, or even some recent unfortunate incidents of tourist disrespectful behavior. More so just a natural progression of what this district has evolved to be. And I really think there are so many more fun things to do for Halloween in Japan anyway, which I will get to at the end. For context, Halloween celebrations in the streets of Shibuya have been growing in popularity ever since Halloween was essentially introduced to Japan by Disneyland in 1997. This, coupled with Shibuya's reputation for being the pre-existing destination for many people to party all night into the AM, led to the Tokyo Halloween tradition of hordes of young people going to the streets of Shibuya in between events and venues, comparing costumes and partying all night. Which I have done, and I think it's a lot of fun, but in recent years it has gotten out of hand, and residents and the government has complained about noise, excessive garbage in the morning, and just wonderful Halloween chaos that is out of the scope of what the government is prepared to handle. So, all the way back in 2019, before the GPN even brought the massive amounts of tourists that Tokyo is experiencing this Halloween, Shibuya banned drinking outside for the weeks surrounding Halloween, which is usually something allowed all over the country. It was, however, hard to enforce and possibly didn't make that big of a difference. However, this year, because there are so many tourists and some incidents of some tourists recently being hard to control, not only will the Shibuya police force be enforcing this, but another 185 hired security guards. This whole area, however, again, has been perpetually chaotic, as I can attest to. Like 7 years ago, I would often go to rock shows in Shibuya, and after they were over, everyone would kind of go into the streets outside of the venue and continue the event into the morning. However, I went to a show last May at one of the same venues, and after it ended, the bouncers were kind of like pushing people out of the streets afterwards and telling them that they could not hang out outside. So the city has been trying to change its party image for a long time, and this Halloween is just one symptom of that. The biggest proof being that, as of this October 1st, Shibuya will permanently ban drinking in the streets from the hours of 6 p.m. to 5 in the morning. So one way or another, this is the end of an era as far as Shibuya's image goes, and has minimal to do with incidents like this ass-faced traveler climbing on top of a family mart and not coming down. But 300%, there are far more exciting things to do in Tokyo during Halloween anyway, so here's what I recommend. I would always go on Halloween boat cruises in the Bay of Tokyo or Osaka. Here I was a panda, my friends were bumblebees. I would also recommend the Kawasaki Halloween Parade, which is kind of the same thing as Shibuya but organized by the city, or the Ikebukuro Halloween Cosplay Festival. Anyway, happy Halloween.